And we are back. Pokemon White 2 Hardcore Nuzlocke. This time we are only going to be using Fire-type Pokemon. It's going to be very difficult, but a whole lot of fun. A huge shout out goes to Sox Ward for challenging us on the back end of our only poison types with Leaf Green. So let's go ahead and up the ante, up the stakes, and see if we can complete yet another Hardcore Nuzlocke. All right, first order of business is going to be selecting our starter, and for this particular run, it is going to be the Fire-type Tepig. Let's go ahead and lock it in and beat our rival for the first time. Hugh also gets his Oshawott for this run. He's going to be looking really good once that turns into a Samurott, but right here it's the little pig versus the baby otter. And we're going to see if we can trade blows here. If we can just secure this first battle, we get a nice critical right out the gate, as Oshawott also responds with a critical hit as well. Gets a little bit greedy for the tail whip, but you'll love to see that as we lean into a second tackle. We're going to go in for the third as well, winning the speed battle and the fight. All right, then our rival Hugh challenges us again at Flusesi Ranch, right there with his Oshawott. So it's going to be a level 8 showdown here. We've got the Tepig leaning into the tail whip to get the party started. We tank a tackle, no problem there, and that tackle is going to be doing more damage on our side. Actually does a ton of damage there, bringing Oshawott into the yellow or the orange. Another tackle comes down, leaving us at 9, but it's no problem as the pig finishes the second rival battle. No more first encounters, so right to Cheren. Here we go. Alright, seeing as Tepig is the only fire type that you can get prior to the first gym, it is going to be the little pig versus the world here, and Cheren comes down. 2 normal type Pokemon, the Patrat leading the charge. Let's see if Tepig can absolutely clutch this. Unova starting off the fight with an Ember. We're going all in for the burn here. If Patrat can get burned, it really can't do hardly any damage to us. I do believe Tackle could do just a smidge more, but either way, it looks like Patrat's going to be flirting with the yellow or the red health bar. So we get Patrat really low, forcing the potion, but as you can see, Unova is taking a ton of damage right now, and if we're not healthy enough when the Lillipup comes down, this is all for naught. As we get shot all the way down to 15, we reprieve back to 25, but Patrat falls, and I don't think that's high enough in HP to go toe-to-toe with the ace Lillipup. Either way, the ace comes down, and now we are on the back foot. A workup is coming in as well, so now Lillipup is +1 attack, and that is going to be terrifying for a stab tackle. On top of that, Lillipup is faster and has completed basically a sword stance there as we helplessly go for the Ember for the burn, also hoping for a critical off the top as well as we eat a tackle living with 5 HP, but we are not faster, so unless Lillipup throws it all, he does not. We lose our starter, and the first attempt has already failed. So we're going to have to be a lot smarter or get better rolls if we're going to beat Cheren with only 1 Pokemon. Let's go see how that second attempt goes. All right, basically the same exact thing. We make it to Cheren. You only have those 2 rival fights, and let's see if Unova, same nicknames, let's see if the Tepig can take on Cheren and his Patrat as well as Lillipup this time around. All right, same thing, got Unova as high as we could level-wise. I'm definitely trying to get more EV training in as well, maxing out that attack and speed. Let's see if that makes a difference in this run. The Patrat comes down with the workup. Unova flirting with the tail whip as well, leaning into a tackle. It is going to be a 2-shot as Patrat goes for another workup, and it does look like, since we didn't play around with the Embers this time, that we can clear the Patrat without taking any damage. Fade away critical for the style point. So really good stuff here. And now the Lillipup comes down. It's a 1v1. And all we need here is to beat Lillipup to the punch, but Lillipup is faster, so we get a tail whip as Lillipup gets a +1, and now we are going to start trading. The tackle comes down, and that is a ton of damage right off the top. We respond with about the same damage, but if we lose the speed battle, it doesn't matter. In realizing this fact, we go down to 7 HP. We're going to pivot to an Ember, all in for the burn, as we're not going to be able to beat the Lillipup unless we can survive 1 more hit. Second run is gone. Okay, so back to the drawing board. I don't think we're going to be able to beat Cheren just by brute forcing with the tackles and or tail whips without heavily relying on a critical hit. So I think we're just going to go back to the burn strategy, just all in with the Embers, and all we need is 1 burn on the Lillipup, and then it really won't matter how many workups it gets. So let's try that strategy to kick off this third attempt. All right, us versus Cheren for the 3rd time. I think we've got it this time. Let's clear the Patrat. being as healthy as possible, and then let's take down that ace Lillipup. So we're leaning into the tail whip for the Pat Rat, as we saw in the previous 2 attempts, that we can clear them if we just drop that defense. So there we go. As I get a little bit greedy for another tail whip, going for it all as we do eat a tackle off the top, and this potentially could one-shot, as it doesn't, but the perk of this is the potion does not get used on the Lillipup. It gets used on the Pat Rat instead. So Cheren, go ahead and keeping the little guy alive, and we almost get the redemption snipe from that range, but it's okay. We do take 12 damage. We do get the level up. The potion is gone. This might still work if we're rolling the burn, but again, that was not the cleanest strategy as the workup comes down from the Lillipup. Do you believe in the little piglet? The Ember comes down, does not get the burn. We're going all in on the second one as the puppy goes for the second workup. We might be able to live one tackle as we do connect on the burn, absolutely. And now we can go in for the tackle as that does more damage, and look at how safe the burn keeps us. Unova clears the first gym. This is the 3rd attempt, but this might be the run. Who knows? Let's go. All right, it's time for our Verbank Complex encounter. It is going to be the little Growlithe. This is usually where I try to get like a Magnemite or an Elekid, something like that, maybe a Magni in my normal vanilla runs, but this is really cool. A potential Arcanine in the future is huge. So we're just working with the little lion here and trying to get this guy onto the squad. We chuck the Great Ball, hoping to secure the second team member. Now, we're going to have to hold off on the Arcanine till later, and you'll see why. But right now, we're operating on a team of 2. All right, it is time for Gym Leader Roxie. This is the second gym, focusing mainly on Poison-type Pokemon. We got the upgraded Tepig into the Pignite, so Unova is looking really strong for this fight. We're just going to lean into the Work Up Flame Charge combination here. We tank 1 tackle off the top from the Little Coughing. We go in for basically a Sword Stance, and now we are +2 attack, and now we are getting greedy for 3. Why not? We are here to stay. Unova representing our team. We're right at 50% HP, and now let's go for the Flame Charge and see. We cannot one-shot the Coughing, which is still surprising, but we're still okay, as now we are going to be outspeeding the Whirlipede that comes down the ace, and Coughing holds on in the red. Once again, after the potion, we go for another Flame Charge, and now we are +5 speed and +3 attack, which is absolute insanity. Definitely didn't need that many procs, but I guess better safe than sorry as the Whirlipede comes down, and we lean into our final Flame Charge and beat the second gym leader pretty handedly. The poison comes down, we shake it off with a berry, and everything is right in the world. Let's go. All right, and then we are in the sewers, and we just go ahead and find our way to the Castelia City Gardens there, right there, out of the sewer, and we get a double battle with some Eevees, and one of these is going to be a potential Flareon for this run, so we need to pick one of them and then secure the other with a Pokeball, and you would not believe me if I told you that this is where our 3rd attempt ends. Yep, I kid you not. I am sitting here in a double battle against 2 Eevees, and I had no idea that this was about to happen, and I am about to wipe to a double battle. We take care of the first Eevee. Okay, everything's looking fine. And you're like, bro, how do you wipe? You already cleared one of the Eevees. All you need to do is catch this one. On top of that, I was too nervous. I didn't want to accidentally crit the Eevee, and I didn't have any ability to poison it or put it to sleep, as a stab quick attack comes down and puts Growlithe into a very interesting position. But this is hardcore Nuzlocke. We can't heal the Growlithe, and there's not a Pokemon I can swap the Growlithe out for. And the only other option is to run and lose the Flareon encounter. So I'm like, oh my gosh, thank the Lord he attacks Unova. She attacks our starter instead, leaving our little Growlithe alive for but a moment. And I'm just like, I can't attack either, because if you attack, you can't throw the Pokeball. So I am begging, I am absolutely begging this Eevee to come home. This Eevee denies us all satisfaction. And on top of that, takes it into her own hands and kills Growlithe right in front of me and Unova as we watch in horror as our only other Pokemon goes down, and I am just dumbfounded. I am like, there is no way. So we lose the potential Arcanine, and I'm like, is this it? Is this the run? And then I'm like, well, maybe Let's go ahead and catch the Flareon. We'll bite the bullet. Maybe we can do this without Arcanine, as there are still about 6 or 7 other encounters. So we can still have a potential full team if we clutch it. And that way we don't have to go all the way to the start again. And I'm really debating, but as you're about to see, this Eevee will not be denied. And it's really going to change how we approach the run moving forward. And again, I guess we'll just let this play out and see what happens here. And maybe I chose wrong. Maybe if we put down this Eevee and went to catch the other one, it would have worked. But as you can see, the stab quick attack comes down and Univa's like, okay, maybe we should roll it. Maybe we should get a flame charge down now. And if it lives, then it'll be low enough for us to secure at least one encounter before we walk out of here. And we're sitting at 26 HP. Eevee's probably around the same, maybe a little bit less. Chuck the Pokeball. Come on home, Eevee. It's okay. You're going to be a Flareon. You're going to be strong. You're going to help the run. And absolutely not, as another quick attack comes down. And this could potentially be it. Can we throw a Pokeball? Can the Eevee get secured? Can everyone be happy? It doesn't even jiggle. Another quick attack comes down. Pignite holding on with 2 HP. We're falling apart. We're fading away. We chuck one last Pokeball. Eevee, do you believe in friendship? No, she does not. And she comes in with one final quick attack. And we lose both of our Pokemon to our potential third encounter. What is this? I can't believe it. Let's get that fourth run. My goodness. Okay. Fourth attempt. This time we make sure to run into Eevee on a single battle instead of a double. We make sure to get Pignite into level 20 so we have access to Smog. And on top of that, another revision that we made was go ahead and pick up the leftovers before you go and get the Eevee encounter. So now we'll be healing, we'll be higher level, we can poison the Eevee, and now there's not 2 Eevees coming at you and Growlithe isn't out there. We have 10 Pokeballs, we are just fine. Now if Eevee breaks out of all 10 of these, I should have went and bought more Pokeballs and more Great Balls, but look at that, it only takes 1. So let's resume. We've got 2 gym badges. This is the 4th attempt. Now we have 3 encounters with the Growlithe, the potential Flareon, and the Pignite. Let's go ahead and try and secure that 3rd gym badge and call it for a day. All right, so it's time for the 3rd gym leader here, Berg and his bug-type Pokemon. Really, anytime you lock in the fire starter, this is probably going to be a sweep unless something horrific happens. But we are leaning into the workups, and we are just going to work up to the heavens, and we're going to use this Swaloon to just run away with this fight as we get the 2nd workup, and then the flame charge is going to compensate for the lack of speed, and then we're going to be hitting harder than anything on the field, and we are going to be faster than anybody here. So we get the 3rd one, potentially starting off the flame charge right here. Now he did get a crit with the Razor Leaf, so we are a little bit lower than we want to be, but there goes the Swaloon, 1 shot, goodbye. And now that leaves the cute little Dwebble here, who is not going to go down as easily, but hopefully just 2 flame charges can do the trick. And absolutely, we actually almost 1-shot the little crab that could here. And this is going to be fine as it setups with a rock polish, trying to get its speed up as well. The hyper potion comes down, just delaying the inevitable as another flame charge comes in, leaving Dwebble in the red. And now if we can just get one more, there we go. That will only leave Levany or Levani. The ace from Berg here, we get the level up on top, which is always nice. And now Levany comes down, level 24 showdown, and we're just going to lean into one final flame charge. It is stab and 4 times super effective. Beautiful stuff. The 4th attempt continues, hoping for the best here, but as we saw previously with the Eevees, tragedy is always lurking around the corner, but I will absolutely take that. So as far as this video goes, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. And I will catch you on the flip. Peace.